you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Smith Radio, along with your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the late-breaking news, heads-up, details about what happened last week, wrapping it all up, making sense of it all, giving you the best commentary there is on the internet, on the airwaves, anywhere in the world. Sunday night, 5 p.m. Eastern, all the way. Usually we take it when we have the host Carrie Smith here. We usually take it all 3 hours, all the way up to 8 p.m., and we'll see how that plays out right now. Currently, we are riding solo, which is fine. Today is January 10th, 2016, our second show of the new year. So if you're listening on iHeartRadio, you can just either go to iHeart and search Smith Radio, and we'll pop up. Or if you want a quick link, you could type in iHeart.smithradio.com. It's SMYTH. And when you're listening live on Sunday night, you can call in anytime to spout off your opinion if you have something to add to the show. 772-49-SMITH, SMYTH. Again, that's 772-49-SMITH. A lot of our callers have, or a lot of our listeners have said that they want to call in, but I don't announce the number enough and they forget. So write it down, put it in your phone, save it, and put a memo into it, whatever you got to do. Smith Radio, call-in hotline is 772-49-SMYTH. And we've got it loaded today. I know the title of the show says... It's very provocative, if you will. It says New Hampshire Dems Defect Vote Trump. We got Obama cries gun grab. And criminal Hillary Cant Be President. So we'll dig into all three of those topics tonight. We've got a loaded stack of stuff. We've also got a boatload. And when I say a boatload, we've got a boatload of sound bites that'll just blow your mind. And the thing that are blowing people's minds just happened to be Donald Trump. And I know we say it every week on this show, but I'll tell you what, they're hitting at him. When I say they, the media are hitting at Trump. Clinton's hitting at Trump. Bill Clinton's hitting at Trump. The Republicans are hitting at Trump. Like everybody, the long knives are out. The machine guns are out. Everything. They're all going all out on Trump. And Trump does what he does, and he fires back. So the media has been obsessed with Trump, and Trump, like I said, continues to fire back at will, and it makes big news. I think 90% of the news coverage is on Trump versus the rest of the Republican candidates. Like, you don't hear... That's funny. I've joined a couple of... Trump groups as well as other groups on Facebook just to kind of keep my pulse, to keep my finger on the pulse of the people that are, if you will, some of them call themselves Trumpites or the voters for Trump, the ones drinking the Kool-Aid, if you will, the ones that are going all in. You couldn't sway their mind one way or another. So I watch the things that they post and I stay on top of some of that stuff. Well, on Facebook, there are probably hundreds of groups that you could join, ranging from, a couple of hundred people in that group all the way up to one group that we're really well known in and that we've been a part of for a long time. And I've announced them here on the show a few times. It's called Get Us Out of the United Nations. So if you search that in Facebook, you'll find that group. It's a closed group. I think they currently have 23,000 members in that group. There's another Trump group as well that has, I think it's over 55,000 members in that Trump group. So there's a lot of those things. Now that get us out of the United Nations group, that isn't necessarily Trump. That's specifically what it means. But a lot of people post Trump, Cruz, back and forth. Okay. What's my point of all this? Well, recently there's been some news that kind of popped up about Ted Cruz. And that's the thing. I've got my finger on the pulse of all the news all week long. I mean, that's all I do. I literally show prep for this show for you, the audience members that we care so much about. And we love doing our job. We love being here on the air. There's nothing more I'd rather do than to be here on the air, connecting with you and espousing the American dream and telling you about where we need to be at versus where we're going at. You understand. You guys get it. You're a smart audience. You're very smart. You're one of the smartest audiences out there. There's no question about it, hands down. So that's what I do all week long, show prep. Literally, ad through ad through ad, whether it be going through Matt Drudge, where you hear a lot of things that I'll pull off, and I'll mention Drudge and the Drudge Report, or Breitbart, lots and lots of information off Breitbart throughout the entire week. I sift through all that stuff. I sift through CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and then little tidbits here and there. I'll sift through Facebook. I'll sift through YouTube and just kind of filter it all out to give you guys the best, absolute best 3-hour show that you can possibly get. It's so informative, like I said, with excellent commentary to kind of break it all down and make sense of it all. Well, the new news this week, if you will, about Ted Cruz is that he may or may not be eligible to be president of the United States. Apparently, the media started digging into it. I guess they said, well, we're not destroying Trump enough, but I'll tell you what, that second runner-up, Ted Cruz, this will be an easy knockoff. We'll just get rid of him, and then we can focus back on Trump again. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but that kind of seems like how they ran with it. So this week, they dug into his mom's birth certificate because we all know Ted Cruz is born in Canada. But his mom was born here in America. Similar situation with Obama, depending on who you believe his dad is or where his mom actually gave birth to him. The story is she gave birth to him in Hawaii. Others say Kenya. Whatever the case is, his mom was a citizen of the United States. So they're saying now that Ted Cruz's mom they couldn't find, that was breaking news. We went to the city where supposedly she was born at, and we were dumbfounded. We couldn't find her birth certificate anywhere. It wasn't in the archives, wasn't at the hospital. What does this mean? Ted Cruz? Oh no, the birthers are coming out on the Democrat side, which is kind of ironic and pretty childish, but that's how they roll. That's what they do. So anyway, so then that kind of rolled for a couple of days, and then it went away. They found the birth certificate. Ted Cruz said there's already precedent. Precedent's already been set. Look at Obama. I mean, he gave a fake birth certificate, and he's president. They can't do nothing about that. Can't unravel the last 8 years of pure and unadulterated torture to logic, to laws, to rationale. It's just absolute insanity. So I started looking for Ted Cruz groups to join on Facebook. And I'll tell you what, there's not many of them. I mean, there's a few. And so I started getting into them, and I started looking for groups that had 1,000 or more members. I started looking for closed groups versus open groups. If it's an open group, anybody in the world can post something in that group. If it's a closed group, then you have to actually join request to join the group, and then you're either admitted or not admitted to the group. So I prefer closed groups rather than open groups. But and a lot of the Trump groups are closed groups for that reason. And you get a lot less diverse ideas, if you will, I think, in a closed group, but that's okay. I can observe it and see what's going on. The Cruz groups, a lot of them are open groups, meaning anybody can join, and there's not many people in those groups. I mean, just a couple of hundred. There might have been a couple groups with a few thousand in there, but nothing compared to the groups that I've seen with Trump. Now, what does all this mean? I'm trying to make sense of all this. What all this means is that there's a culture out there, and that culture's on Facebook. And I'm not saying that represents all of America or how America would vote, but that represents people and people's feelings towards one person versus another. There's a lot of people with a lot of fire in their belly, if you will, for Trump. And because of the things he's been saying, which in the political world is unprecedented. It really is. I've never in my lifetime heard anybody speak to the media, anybody speak to the people like he does. And it makes sense. He's not a politician. So, and I know this is not the Donald Trump show. This is the Smith Radio Show. And if you feel like calling in, you sure can. 772-49-SMYTH. 772-49-SMITH. So for our listeners out there, we are in minute 11, and I've already given the phone number 3 times, I think. Maybe more. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. The whole point of this is that Trump is speaking to the people in America, and he's saying what Americans are feeling, regardless of what the media wants us to believe, regardless of the narrative the media wants us to hear, because the media obviously is that extension of the Obama administration, the Democrat Party, the Socialist Party, the Bernie Sanders, the loony Bernie Sanders, the loony Hillary Clinton. That's what the media wants you to have. And we've got some things this week. The media it's kind of starting to turn on Hillary. It's kind of strange, but they're starting to turn on her, and I'm not sure how that's going to play itself out. And I honestly believe that she has no... Here's my personal, and this is just an opinion. This is not fact. This is just my personal opinion. I honestly believe that if Hillary Clinton is elected president of the United States, God forbid, Lord above, help us all if that ever happened. But I believe that if that did happen, that there would be a mass revolt due to the fact that it is fraudulent. It's completely fraudulent. I just don't see how she has... she just doesn't have that kind of support. It would have to be completely fraudulent. I mean, we talked about it last week. She's rounding up, if you will, hundreds, maybe plural hundreds, of people to her rallies, while Bernie Sanders is rallying 20,000, 10,000, 15,000. I mean, Bernie Sanders, I don't hear about Bernie Sanders at all in the news. I mean, there's some things here and there, but not like of any significance whatsoever. Like, I don't hear about his rallies. I have to really dig to find out about Bernie Sanders and what's going on with his camp. I have to really dig to find out what's going on with Ted Cruz. I don't think there's a single article out there on Jeb Bush that has anything to do with anything. That guy's literally dropped off the side of the earth. I like that one kid. Jeb Bush is on a cell phone walking and also just walks right off the side of a cliff. That's what happened to him. I don't know where he went. But anyways, I digress. Hillary Clinton spending millions and millions and millions of dollars, hemorrhaging money to keep her campaign afloat. The Democrat Party apparently is broke. They're writing checks that can't really be cashed. They're writing checks on future possible monies. I don't know where all their money went. I know Barack Hussein Obama has been campaigning for the last 8 years, last 7 years, been campaigning and raising millions and millions of dollars. Who knows where that money's going?